do that, today I will try to talk a bit about some cool things, or at least things that I think are cool, which you can do in a browser. Firstly, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Bellen. I'm from Belgium, which is this exotic country in Europe. I'm a software engineer at Made with Law. I also help to co-organize some meetups in Belgium called Frontiers, which you might know from the conference in Holland, or you might not know, but it's cool. You can find me online as Sam Leo. And I like cats. This is my cat again. I really like my cat. And throughout this presentation, you will see my cat feature basically constantly. So this is my cat. You might recognize it from the t-shirts as well, or from this year. It's a friend. They're friends of each other. But the first API I want to talk about is the speech API. Who knows that a browser can talk to you? All right, that's a few people. Nice. Other ones?
Talk. Kuha.
Oh, okay. Let's do that again.
Hi NationJS. Did you know the browser could talk? Kuha. The web speech API converts text to spoken words. You can even choose my voice. Since I'm a female cat, I'll be talking with a female voice. Meow.
So let's do a vote. Who should continue? My cat. My cat. No, I'm just going to do it. I'm sorry that I disappoint you, but yeah, your browser can just talk. It can convert text to spoken words. Should we do this? We are going to use a speech API, which is implemented in some modern browsers. The first thing you need is a speech synthesizer. You can find this on your window object. Just put it under syn because syn is much shorter to type than the note of speech synthesized synthesis. And we're going to use this later to really talk. The second thing you need is a speech synthesis utterance, which is basically just an object which contains the text you want your browser to talk, and some extra characteristics about how to talk it or stuff like this. And once we have both, we can just use our synth, and we say synth.speak, and then our utterance we created.
Hi, everybody.
Now, my cat is a female cat, and this was a really low male voice, which is a default voice in Chrome. But as I mentioned, this speech utterance object really contains the text you want to speak and some characteristics of how to pronounce or how to speak to you. So you can first start with finding a voice. I like the voice of Fiona. Is there Fiona in the room? No? Too bad. I did like the sound of Fiona for my cat. So I chose that one, and I said it is the voice of my utterance. Then my cat is a lazy cat. All cats are lazy cats, so I just decreased the rate a bit, so it talks a bit slower. And of course, it's a small female cat, so it should have a higher voice, so I increased the pitch to 1.5.
No, this is better, don't you think?
I think it's much better. So let's recap. We need our synthesizer, we create a utterance, and then just say whatever it needs to say, add some characteristics if you're interested in that, and then in the end just do synth.speak and pass along your utterance. That's basically everything you need to do to make your browser talk. It's not that difficult, I think. But now, speech recognition. Let's raise those hands again. Who knew that your browser can recognize speech? Oh, that's more than just talking. Wow. Nice. So if I'm going to press this button, and I hope by this internet I do, I hope it will understand me. So let's try. Hi, everybody. Live demo. Let's refresh and try again. Hi, everybody. Yeah. So you can see in the green bubble, it recognized that I said hi everybody, which is not that special, but since I have a bit of an accent, I'm just going to keep it a bit simple. But the browser just started listening when I pressed this button to what I was going to say, and then converted this into a string, a piece of text, and which you can use later to do some creative stuff with. But it's nice to know that it's there. It's important to know that you need internet access to use this API, because it's not really happening in the browser. It's really Chrome sending your voice to some servers, doing some magic, and sending an object back. So if you want to use this, you cannot do it offline. You need internet access. That being said, it's not that difficult to use. You create a new speech recognition instance, like so. Once you have this, you can configure some parameters like we're going to talk English from the US. I don't want the intermediate result. If you put this to true, it will keep on updating the result until it's fairly sure that it has the right recognition. And then what to do when you have it or what to do when you have an error. That's basically everything. Just when you get a result, it will send you an object with a string and also a percentage of how sure it is that it got or that it understood what you said. But that's all you need to do to make your browser start listening. This only works in Chrome for the moment. The API is available in Firefox, but it's just an empty object and it doesn't do anything. But hopefully soon they will complete it, so it's already in 2 browsers. Yeah. The next one is your geolocation API. I think you all know this because the most websites these days are like, hey, can I know your location? Because I want to show you some really cool stuff based on your location, which is usually advertisements or stuff like this. But it can also be used in a good way. Going to try to find the location, and if we're lucky enough, yeah, we're in Washington. I think that's right. This is my first time in Washington, but as far as I know, we're still in Washington. And to be exact, more or less, well, in this building at least. So as you can see, this is quite accurate, this geolocation API. So let's see how to use it. You have your geolocation.currentPosition methods, which you can use to get some coordinates. It's based on your navigator object. Most of these APIs are on your navigator object. And what it will do is it will return a set of coordinates, like so. But I do not really understand coordinates because I'm not a GPS or a computer, and the longitude and latitude doesn't really mean anything to me. So you can just use these coordinates and use something like the Google Maps API or whatever API you prefer and convert them to a city or a country or a street or whatever. With this piece of code, for example, you don't have to really look at it. You can find it in the box of Google Maps. But using the coordinates you get from your geolocation API, you can just get a more human-friendly result by converting them to with the Google Maps API. You can also get a map of it, like you saw earlier. There's something wrong because it should show some notifications. But I recently reinstalled my computer, so it probably hides them in full screen mode. Let's try that again. In not full screen mode. No, it doesn't do anything. There's a notifications API, which works really good, if it works. But it is not at the moment. Let's see. Aha, do not disturb is on because I am projecting. Let's try that again. So everything can go wrong when you do live demos, but yeah, notifications. You can just send notifications from your browser to your user. And as you can see, these are native notifications, not just some crappy stuff like they use it in Google, like Google Chrome. They use the native notifications now, and they even appear in your notification tray if you want help. So yeah, notifications. Let's see how you can do this. The first thing you need to do is request permission because you don't want any website to just start blasting you with notifications and giving you one after the other, like click here for this cool product or click here because you need money and you want your money. So you first have to grant permission to a website to send you some notifications. Once these are granted, you can create the actual notification, which you do like this. You create a new notification instance. And then send along some text, title, like I am the title of the notification, a body, an icon, because you need a cat picture in your notification, of course. And that's all you need to do to create a notification. There are some more parameters you can send along, but these are the most important ones. So it will create this notification. It's also possible to click on these notifications and attach an event handler to this, like so. Once you've created your notification, you just add the on-click event handler and then do some maybe improved stuff in JavaScript. So next up, because we talked about notifications, but regular notifications and push notifications are a little bit different. Let's see if this works. Yeah. So I clicked on this button and it was going to send a request to a server, and the server was going to push a message to my browser, but it shows up after a while as a notification, which looks the same but isn't really the same as a regular notification. The difference is that a regular notification is really just sent by your front end, by your JavaScript, while a push notification is pushed from a push server straight to the front end. This has the advantage that if I would close my window and I would open Postman, and I would wait until Postman loads, and I would do that exact same request that I did when clicking on the button, it would still send me that notification on the right corner. So one of the advantages of having push notifications is that your user doesn't really have to be on your website for your user to receive these notifications, as long as they have agreed to receive them in the first place. Okay, so here's how you do this. For this push notifications, we will need something called a service worker. As there are a lot of people already use service workers in the past, or in production, or on the test sometimes. Okay. For those of you who do not, or have not used it, or do not know what it is, it's basically just a separate worker which you install on your browser when your user visits your website. And it can intercept API or network requests, and it can listen for push notifications and some other cool stuff. So we are going to register one, and it's just a separate JavaScript file, server.js, and then when that has been resolved, we get access to a push messenger. Then we create a subscription and send that subscription to our server, so we can identify the user as this is its computer or its browser. And if you want to send a message to that specific user, the user ID we just or the subscription we created here to identify him. And then in your service worker.js file, you basically just start listening for push events, and once they go in, you show a notification. It's a little bit different than in the front end. You don't really do a notification instance, but you just do solid registration, but show notification, and then you pass along a title or a body or stuff like this. You can also get the title and the body from your push message itself. It doesn't have to be hard coded. I was lazy. This was for the demo. So the next one is the battery manager API. Crazy, right? Your browser can access the data of your battery. As you can see, I have 100% battery and I'm charging. And if you look at the top, that's about correct. But now, when I unplug it, I'm going to put this here. It just advanced to the next slide. So I paid, I don't know how much money for this controller, well, I can just plug and unplug my power. It's a good use case for this API, right? The thing I wanted to demonstrate with this is that you can listen to changes in the state of your battery, like is it charging or is it not charging? Is the level changing and stuff like this? The first thing you need to do is get your battery object, which you do by calling navigator.getBattery. It will return your battery object, and that has some information like, is it charging? What's the level of your battery? How much time will it take to be fully charged or to be fully discharged? But, as I said, you can also listen to changes in these stats by just adding to the event listeners to the battery object. And then every time you unplug or plug your battery, your charger. You can advance to the next slide. So yeah, your browser has access to your battery and every piece of data that comes with your battery. The next one is the Media Recorder API, which records media. That's basically what it does. So let's try this out. Yeah. Hi, NationJS.
Yeah. Hi, NationJS.
So it's a bit dark and it's a bit sloppy, but I just recorded some video using my browser and nothing else than my browser. The first thing you need to do is get access to your camera and or your microphone. You can do this using Get User Media, which is pretty well supported in most major browsers. Even Safari has it these days. This was not advanced. Actually, information you guys should know or should use because you can now use Get User Media in all major browsers. You just tell them, I want a video or I want audio or one of both, whatever you're interested in, and this will return a stream. Once you've got that stream, you can create a video HTML5 element and just send the source object to that stream. That way you can have a preview of what your webcam is looking like in Mirror or something like this. Next we're going to create a new media recorder instance and pass along that stream as well. So we can actually record what we're seeing through the webcam or hearing through the microphone. Yeah, like this. Once you get your new media recorder instance, you can set some event handlers like on data available or what to do on stop, and you just say start recording when you get some data available. Basically, just going to call this every milliseconds, I guess. And what we're going to do is when we have data available, we're going to push it into an array for later use. So every time there's some data available, push it into the array, and then later, when we stop recording, we're going to take that chunks array and do some magic with it, like creating a new blob and then converting the blob to a base64 URL, so we can use this base64 URL to pass along as the source of a video element. It's a bit of a detour to get to really recording in the browser, but it's possible. The next one is my favorite API in all browser APIs that are available. It's the Web Audio API. For those of you who were at the kickoff yesterday, I talked a bit about this. I'm going to keep it very short because this is a talk on its own. It sounds in the browser. This was not an MP3 or something. This was really just created in the browser. Like play Fury, for example. And the first thing you need to use the Web Audio API is to create a new audio context. Once you've got that audio context, you create a new oscillator, which is basically just going to create a tone. And by putting some more tones after each other, you can create some music. You can just adjust the frequency of this oscillator or the type, like a sine wave or a square wave or a sawtooth wave. And then you say oscillator.start. Once that oscillator is started, you can just connect it to the destination of your audio context, which are your speakers, and this will result in you hearing a tone. The audio context has a built-in clock because when you're scheduling music, you really want it to be super precise. You can find that clock under your audio context of get current time, or current time, not get current time. And yeah, you can basically just schedule your oscillator to start at a certain time and stop at a certain time plus 2, whatever. Looks a bit like this. It's a very simple example. I just rushed through this because otherwise I'll be talking for 5 more hours because I really want this. If you want to know more, come talk to me later. The next one is the vibration API. Okay, that's cool to use. You can make devices vibrate using a browser if they have a vibration motor, of course. My laptop does not have this, but if you would use this on an Android phone, in Chrome for example, you could, if you go to this URL, which I will post again later, you could make your phone vibrate. This has some good use cases, like when you want to send a message to your user and you want to make it extra stand out, you can just make your phone vibrate. You do this by just calling navigator.vibrate and just pass along how long you want it to vibrate, like 400 milliseconds. You can also vibrate in a pattern, like 400 milliseconds of vibrating, 200 of nothing, 400 of vibrating, and then you can create some Morse code or whatever you like to do, some patterns. But yeah, you can make your phone vibrate by just using this one line of JavaScript in a browser, like Chrome on Android. The next one is device orientation, which is cool if you want to create some games or stuff like this. I have a mouse, and my phone and my laptop is a bit tilted towards me. So if I would tilt it like this, it goes away from the cat, but of course the cat wants to mouse. Now, yum yum yum. So based on the way I hold my laptop in this case, I can control the movement of this mouse, which is a very slow mouse. Because my cat is lazy and it doesn't really bother by catching it. But it's cool that you can listen to the orientation of your device. The code is here. You can just add an event listener on your window object and listen for a device orientation change, and then when this event file, you get some information like a alpha, a delta, and a gamma, which I have no idea what they are. But if you play around with them, you will see that they change based on your movement of your device. So based on these values, you can control stuff on your web page, like tilting your phone or your laptop, which is cool. So what else is there possible in a browser? There's a thing called the Payments API, which lets you just integrate with your OS and pay securely on the web. There's the Web Bluetooth API, which lets you connect to Bluetooth devices and control them or listen to messages from them. There's a Web USB API, which lets you talk to USB devices, which is one of the newest things, but I think it's really cool that you are not just limited to the web itself. You can communicate with everything connected to your device using Bluetooth or Web USB, or even Web Media if you're into music and you want to control music devices, or you want to use music devices to control your web apps. So who knows what else is possible. It's always, the web is changing so fast, so maybe next week I will give this talk and I will have to find out 5 new demos because there's so many cool stuff coming out. But let's throw everything together. So you all know that every major company needs its personal assistant like Siri and Alexa, and Google also has more of the name. And I have Puss, which is the name of my cat, and she can listen to us. Let's see what tricks she has up her sleeve.
These are the tricks I got up my sleeve.
So if I would ask her to remind us in 1 minute, I'm going to copy this because I'm lazy.
I'll remind you in a minute.
But of course, you can also start listening to us, so I can ask her stuff like, what's the weather like? And now, if everything goes right, it
Looks like broken clouds with a temperature of 11.24 degrees Celsius.
What it did is it got my location using the geolocation API, and then called an API to get the weather based on that location. So yeah, and something else. Let's do something fun.
Hey look, now you're a cat as well.
It's not working well because it's dark in here, but you have all these Instagram filters and Snapchat filters, and I have a cat filter. It's nice. Using just JavaScript is really nothing fancy going on. So yeah, what else? I have no idea what it's doing here.
These are the tricks I got up my sleeve.
Oh, and there's a reminder of 1 minute ago, so I guess we're already playing this for 1 minute. But based on the input, you could also use API.ai, for example, to really make your assistant smarter, because I just used a big switch statement and then listen to some keywords. But using all these things together, you can make some really smart assistants, or you can enhance the experience on your web app or stuff like this. I think that's all I've got for you guys today. Oh yeah, other questions. I don't think there's time for questions. But you can find this presentation on meow.omega.de, and you can ask questions later if you want to ask me some questions. Thank you.